All right, so now we've treated the individual animal, we need to think about everyone else who could be affected by the Giardia. So what we need to do is prevent the spread throughout the shelter to the other animals. So we're going to place appropriate signage. We're going to put a big old sign on the cage, say, hey, I have Giardia, wear gloves, wash your hands. Ideally, limit handling to those who know about Giardia, know the zoonotic potential, and know how to handle it so they're not spreading it throughout the shelter. So not every volunteer should be cuddling the Giardia puppies. We need to have appropriate cleaning protocols, and this applies, of course, across all the diseases we're dealing with. If we have good protocols, we're going to be eliminating all the different diseases, not just Giardia. So picking up the feces, keeping it clean, we're preventing reinfection of all the diseases, not just Giardia, and we're going to allow the cages to dry before we add animals again. And we're going to keep the animals separate. I'm not saying you have to isolate them. You know, this isn't like upper respiratory where they need to go into a separate room necessarily, but we don't want to mix them. So if the puppy with Giardia goes out into the play yard, and then you have all your other dogs come out into the play yard, what's that going to do? That's not going to be helpful for your treatment regime, because they're going to be contaminating that environment. They're going to be contaminating the community cat room or the hallway where everybody walks. So you need to be conscious of where you're taking these animals and what other animals have access to that space. And of course, we don't want to be mixing animals, especially litters. You don't want to be putting sick animals in with the non-sick ones. It's common sense, right? So because young animals are more easily infected, or at least more commonly we see them as clinical disease in the young animals, we want to keep them in easily cleaned cages. We don't want to put them into the nice posh cat room with all the furniture. We want to keep them somewhere that we can clean in case they do get sick.